watching your videos, to be honest, on how you could present yourself to anybody, whether they were 3 steps ahead, 4 steps behind. I think that was something that really interested me in sales in general. And yeah, I did go to uni for about 3-4 months in computer science, but it really, like, I couldn't continue. The longer you stay on the wrong train, the more expensive it is to get back. So I just had to jump ship early and get on my feet as soon as possible. I believe there's been sort of like a bottleneck situation in my application process. I just don't find myself getting replied back to when applying to these positions on LinkedIn. I've tried messaging hiring teams. It's only been about 2-3 months, but yeah, I've not found too much success in that area.
Taha, to work with us here at the Silicon Sales Bootcamp, it will be a one-time investment of £.
Yeah, that's fine. I could get it over within the next day or two. I can send you like the first now for you, if that's okay.
Taha, you're obviously a student, alhamdulillah, graduated from the Silicon Sales Institute, managed to land a role pretty quickly, alhamdulillah. First things first, congratulations, man. You worked really hard throughout the boot camp. You worked really, really well with the Institute. It's no surprise that you ended up landing a role. But just want to maybe ask you, overall, where were you at before you even joined the Institute?
Before joining the Institute, I would say I was lost. Didn't really know how to navigate the space. Heard a lot about it. Just knew the typical buzzwords, commission, overtime, like that kind of stuff. Before joining it, I really did not know where to start. I had a CV made that wasn't getting me any responses. Didn't really know any key terms or anything like that. But after, it was a night and day difference. It was more like I was being approached by companies rather than me chasing tails and finding no end.
Interested, man. And am I right in saying that the company that you've now obviously accepted an offer for, alhamdulillah, they previously rejected your application or didn't even want to speak to you?
Yeah.
But after you finished the Institute and had all your credentials and everything from the Silicon Sales Institute, they reached back out to you essentially.
Yeah, so only maybe a month before joining the bootcamp, I'd reached out to this company, just wanting a position there, applying through LinkedIn, and I didn't even get a response back. And then fast forward, literally only maybe a week after completing the bootcamp, had my CV completely changed, knew what I was talking about, sending out cold emails and cold calls. They came to me asking if they could speak to me rather than me going after them, which was a surprise, but a good one.
Amazing. Alhamdulillah. So generally, people, when they apply for the Silicon Sales Institute, they seem to have this impression that it will be kind of maybe like some sort of course, some video course, or they watch a course and that's about it, and it'll be kind of a walk in the park. They do things at their own pace. What would you say to those individuals?
I think you should reconsider. It was not easy at all. It's like, the thing is about it, you are thrown into the deep end for your own benefit. You have to learn to swim. You know what I mean? And if you're not willing to, then you're just not cut out for it in the end. Like, it's not going to be something that you will thrive in at the end. So if you really want to take it seriously, if you think it's for you, then you will go as hard as possible from minute one, and you will not find it easy, but that's okay.
Nice. What would you say you found maybe the most challenging part of maybe working with the Silicon Sales Institute? I mean, look, breaking into tech sales is not easy. And there's a reason why we have to have a minimum like difficulty level. But what would you say you personally found the most challenging aspect?
I think it was the idea of dropping old habits. You know, if you want to succeed, you have to embody something that you're not until you become that thing. You know what I mean? Initially, I couldn't really speak to people well. I couldn't formulate ideas fast enough, well, in terms of tech sales. But eventually, with practice, with tries, you will get there, and you might feel like an imposter at first, and that's okay. Like, everybody's going to feel that way until they've just given it enough tries, and then it's going to become second nature.
Okay. You obviously, throughout your time at the Institute, used our state-of-the-art AI role-play tools that we use to help train individuals. How would you say that they helped shape your interview readiness and your ability to perform during the role play tasks with, said companies?
The AI tools that we were given access to, they were actually really, really interesting. The unpredictability aspect of it, that was vital. Of course, we tried and tried again, which made it easier eventually. But just being exposed to different kind of rebuttals, different kind of objections, that made it really, like, it just made us realize that this is part of the job. Like, you're not gonna go a day without facing a rejection. You're not going to go a day without somebody slamming, like just getting rude out of nowhere, just being a bit harsh. And I think just understanding that that's going to be part of your everyday life now within the job, a lot easier to handle.
Nice. And if you were to compare your skill level and knowledge level across different skill assets that people require within tech sales, whether it's qualification methodologies, whether it's objection handling, whether it's tonality, being able to put a script together, how would you compare your skill level before joining the institute and after actually completing the institute? And of course, now, landing a role with those skills.
I think the difference is like 0 and 100. Before it, completely clueless, knew nothing at all. Like building a script, generating pipelines, all this kind of stuff. I had no idea. Like I was blind. And after it, like as I told you in the interview I had for my role, I was told to quickly put together a script and perform it there and then for their product, which was crazy to do. Like me, just before doing the boot camp, I could have never imagined that's something I'd be able to do, but there I was doing it and managing to land a role through it. Yeah, so complete stark difference between where I started and where I am now.
Amazing. That's really, really good to hear, and good feedback for us as well at the institute. I mean, if someone is considering a role in tech sales and they're on the fence or thinking about joining the institute, what would you advise them, or what would you say to them?
My advice would be that they should really look into potentially joining the bootcamp, finding their feet around like-minded people who are willing to support them, and just the purposefulness of everybody there. Everybody was working towards the same goal, with a few mentors that were really committed to helping them land their position. And being in that kind of environment, it makes you realize that it's not such a far-fetched idea. Breaking into tech sales is something that is very possible to do with the right guidance, and it's something really worthwhile.
Okay, with the quality of roles that people could actually end up landing, when it comes to someone who maybe hasn't graduated through the institute or hasn't gone through the institute, in comparison to someone who has, what do you think would be the quality in the types of roles they're able to land?
Somebody who has not gone through, let's say, this kind of experience, I don't think they'd be able to really negotiate their position. I think the experience and the knowledge that the bootcamp gives you, like you get insider knowledge, you get a real understanding of how the world of tech sales actually works. Just having that even is like it creates such a difference. I think somebody who has gone through this kind of bootcamp will be able to understand their role a lot better, understand what's expected of them, which is probably one of the hardest parts, knowing what's expected of you and how to perform to that level and beyond. Proving your worth, I think, is something that separates one who has done this kind of experience and somebody who hasn't. It might take them a bit longer to get to that point of understanding.
Amazing. If you have now having landed a role and being on the other side of the fence, graduating from the institute, if you have to summarize your experience in maybe like 1 or 2 sentences, like how would you summarize it?
I would say it was probably eye-opening. It only took this boot camp, which was maybe around 8 weeks, was it?
It was about 10 weeks. 10 weeks.
Yeah, 8 to 10 weeks. Just in that time to be able to go from being rejected by almost everybody, having no idea what anything was about, to landing roles, being interviewed by all these companies. I think that the quality speaks for itself. You know what I mean? I think just looking at my CV, I would never imagine that I could have put something like this together and landed a role. Like my goal was to have a role by like maybe 2026 if I was lucky, and we've not even come winter and I've already got one, alhamdulillah. So it's crazy.
Alhamdulillah. Amazing. Well, look, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the bootcamp and as part of the institute. You worked hard, Unfortunately, some people that come onto the bootcamp don't work as hard, but you did everything that was asked of you. You had that mindset and you had a goal. You were dedicated to the task, and you've obviously reaped the rewards and the benefits and taken on board the advice, which is exactly what we look for when it comes to candidates who look to join the institute. So really, really well done, man. Allahumma barik. May Allah make it easy for you and grant you all the success. What's next for you, man? Now you're obviously going to be an SDR. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but they're very, 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 very well recognized company. I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't recognize this company once you mention their name. But what's next on the line for you? Like,
honestly and truly, I really just hope to hit the ground running at this current role. I really want to become an expert as fast as possible. Become just break records, as they say. You know what I mean? I don't want to settle for mediocrity. I want to make this a career and not just a job. You know what I mean?
Alhamdulillah. Well, look, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Wish you all the best in the future. And again, like, you know, once you're part of the institute, you're always going to be a part of the institute. So we're always here to be able to give you any advice that you need. Go smash it, man. Go be better than us.
Jazakallah khair, bro. I'll do my best.
وياك حبيبي.